Welcome, everyone, to the bottom 10. It is championship week or regular season ending edition of the bottom 10 right here at the Voice of College Football. Please like the video, even if you don't agree with me, if you enjoy the best in discussion, debate, and analysis. Here we go, the bottom 10. Let's lead it off with the 3 winless teams in conference play. Only 3 out of 133 in FBS football for 2023. They are Kent State, Vanderbilt, Louisiana Monroe, all 0-8 in conference play, 0-24 combined. And speaking of Louisiana Monroe, ULM fired its head coach as part of 4 firings across college football on Black Sunday. Terry Bowden, formerly of Auburn, his 1993 team, of course, went 11-0. Took the Tigers to the SEC championship game in 97, but that was a long, long time ago. Since then, it's been stops at Akron and North Alabama. Took the Zips to the MAC championship game. So the guy has been able to coach, but at ULM did not get the job done. At 10-26, 5-19 in conference play, 0-8, as we just stated, in conference play this season at 2-10 overall. Tom Allen finally out at Indiana after 7 miserable seasons. Well, it started off well as he, of course, transitioned from defensive coordinator under Kevin Wilson and took the Hoosiers to the Gator Bowl in 2019, had a 2-touchdown lead against Tennessee, 6-2 in a top 12 finish in college football in the COVID year of 2020, and then downhill from there. 3-24 in the Big Ten, and a bunch of failed one-score losses and blowout losses, a mixed bag under Tom Allen. So Indiana moves on from Tom Allen. Dana Dimel at UTEP, gone after leading the Miners, one of the worst FBS programs in history, to a bowl game 2 years ago for the first time in 7 years, but 20 wins and 49 losses, not getting it done at UTEP. Then, of course, Houston firing Dana Holgorsen after 5 seasons at 31-28, 4 of those in the American Conference, 1 in the Big 12 at 4-8, 2-7 in the conference. Needed a Hail Mary to win 1 game from Donovan Smith against West Virginia and beat Baylor, but other than that, lost to Rice and got rolled in a bunch of other games. Played Texas tough, but Dana Holgorsen out of a job at Houston. Our number 9 on the list of the bottom 10 fired head coaches. Mississippi State will not play in a bowl game for the first time since 2009, losing the Egg Bowl, dropping to 5-7 after the untimely loss of Mike Leach. Zach Garnett won the bowl game against Illinois last year, but out after 10 games. Jeff Lebby to the rescue as a former Ole Miss and Oklahoma offensive coordinator. Next in line in our bottom 10, Mississippi State, bowlless for the first time since 2009. Let's stay in the SEC, and with a team whose only SEC win was 7-3 over the aforementioned Mississippi State Bulldogs. That's, of course, Sam Pittman and Arkansas. Dismal on Black Friday, losing to Mizzou 48-14. It wasn't that close, 41-0 at some point in the fourth quarter. Sam Pittman's team goes to 1-7 in the SEC. They lose to a BYU team that went 2-7 in the Big 12. Next up on the bottom 10, the Hogs. Next in our bottom 10 list, right here, the Voice of College Football, we go to the Big 12 and to the top of the conference. Yes, all the way to the top. Commissioner Brett Yormark, who, if you recall, back during Big 12 Media Days in July, declared to Texas Tech head coach Joey McGuire, take care of business, meaning you got to win that final game against Texas in that showdown, send the Longhorns off to the SEC, and kick them out of the conference. Well, Texas is the best team in the Big 12, and they curb stomped the Red Raiders 57-7. Next on our bottom 10, Brett Yormark, Big 12 commissioner. And by the way, Mike Gundy, you're up. TCU's defense gave up 69 points, 30 first downs, 607 total yards to Oklahoma in a 24-point loss to conclude the season and miss a bowl game, of course, one season after reaching the national championship game. 2020 LSU at 5-5 during the COVID season could have opted to go to a bowl game, but they did not. So technically, LSU is the last team to go from one season national championship game appearance to the next season missing a bowl game. However, the last team to not qualify for a bowl game, 2009 BCS championship game appearance from Texas, 2010, 5-7, missed a bowl game under Mac Brown. Sonny Dykes, TCU, you've got the next distinction in line. as a team reaching the championship game, going bowlless the next season. Next in the bottom 10, TCU. And when you talk about bowlless droughts, nobody tops the Huskers. Incredibly, Nebraska football has the longest bowl drought of any team in the Power 5 going back to 2016. Not Vandy, not Wake, not Georgia Tech, not Kansas, not Rutgers, not any horrible football program that you can think about is as bad as Nebraska in failing to reach postseason play. At 5-6, they had a chance against Iowa, 10-10 football game late. They get an interception off Deacon Hill at midfield. They need about 15 yards to get into field goal range to close out the win, get to 6-6, and get a bowl game in Matt Rule's first season. But right after that, Chuba Purdy throws a pick. Iowa's the one that, of course, wins the one-score game. Nebraska, again, of course, loses the one-score game. Nebraska, bowlless, longest streak in the Power 5 to 2016. GBR. Many folks selected the Air Force Falcons to make the Group of 5 bid to the New Year's 6 here in 2023, and they were off to a fantastic start this year at 8-0. But 4 consecutive losses for Air Force, and they finished the season at 8-4. Next up in our bottom 10, AFA. Think about this. In the last 2 Iron Bowls played on the Plains, Auburn had the chance not only to beat their hated rival in a major upset, but to knock Bama out of the college football playoff. 2 years ago in 2021, Tank Bigsby runs out of bounds and stops the clock, giving Bryce Young and company enough time to drive 98 yards for the game-tying score. Bama wins in 4 overtimes. This time, it's not Brian Harsin, it's Hugh Freeze at the controls. Auburn played an exceptional game as a 2-touchdown underdog, had it with a 4-point lead, and it was Bama making the mistakes in the clutch. With a bad snap and an illegal pass by Jalen Milroe, they had a 4th and goal at the 31. But Auburn came up with a horrendous defensive approach, defensive scheme, did not stop the pass play to the corner. Isaiah Bond pulls it in from Jalen Milroe. Bama defeats Auburn. The Tigers blow it again, 27-24. And our final spot in the bottom 10 is reserved for an exceptional college football head coach, but elite royalty in college football can be a cruel, cruel thing. Ryan Day has now dropped 3 consecutive games in the game. He's 40-0 against the rest of the Big Ten. He is now 1-3 with 3 consecutive losses against the team up north. Ryan Day, still an excellent coach, still should be employed at Ohio State, but for right now, the pressure is on, and he has to wait 365 days to erase that pressure. At the top spot, or the final spot, in our bottom 10, Ryan Day, Ohio State. Appreciate you being here at the Voice of College Football. Please hit that like button. Please subscribe. Hit that bell for the notifications to know when we go live. We've got live streams all over the place, and keep in mind, this is not just all there is to the Voice of College Football. We've got 15 team channels, so check them out. We've got live streams going all week, so please check it out. Join the chat. Give me a call right here at the Voice of College Football.